Welcome back. My name's Craig Carrel, president of Team One Plastics, and it's my pleasure to be with Jeff Mengel, a partner and a plastic specialist at the accounting firm of Plant Moran. We're just discussing the plastics industry, and we really want to talk about now, what do you see as some opportunities and really growth areas for this industry? We talked a little about the recession, and things seem to be moving in a positive direction. Where are those opportunities or growth areas that you see out there, Jeff?
Well, one of the things I want to point out is we've been studying the industry for 17 years in depth with the North American Plastics Industry Study. In those 17 years, we found one of the findings we had is you can make money in any industry. You can make money as a shoot and ship molder. You can make money as an innovative molder. And you can make money as a molder that's customer intimate. Unfortunately, what we also found is you can lose money in all those different ways of supplying parts to your customers and in every industry. There are certain industries that are much more kind to everybody, like the medical industry would be. And there's other industries that tend to punish the weak, like the automotive and appliance industries. So they have, the good companies make good money in those industries. And they can make just as good as money as anyone that's in the medical industry or the other ones.
Right.
So if you're a good molder, meaning you've defined who you are, you stick to your knitting on that, not trying to be all things to all people, having the right array of services, product, and selecting your customers correctly, which to me is one of the key ingredients. If I can select my customers versus my customers selecting me, I've just defined success. Now I can have customers that fit my product array, fit my equipment array, fit my skill sets, and I am going to be that much more productive for them, that much more, it's going to be that much more profitable for me. So there's a good value add there. That takes discipline. So if you look at it, what's the opportunity is getting back to the basics and discipline. Well, not creating waste, so you got to be productive, and it has to be improvements. A lot of it's going to go with strategy and dealing with the strategic advantages that you have, identifying what they are and exploiting those.
And that does seem like you really have to almost know thyself then, before you can even talk about some of the things you talked about. Knowing which customers are a fit, you really have to know the value you're bringing in terms of whatever area you are going after. Would you agree with that assessment?
I 100% agree, and I think I'll give you a prime example where companies go in and they think, I am customer intimate. My customer loves me. And what we do is we go in and we identify by profiling that individual company and looking at what they have is like, you better not compete directly with other people, because as soon as your customer wakes up, they're not going to be so intimate with you. And the way we look at it is it's really not customer intimate, it's customer convenient. So the customer finds it convenient to keep ordering from you.
Right.
Give them an excuse to look, you may not have that anymore. So it's really not an intimate role where you are actually enabling that customer to get to a higher value add.
Yes.
What you're doing is you're allowing that customer to stay lazy and not look elsewhere, which is fine.
That's not a bad strategy.
It's not a bad strategy.
But you really need to understand your relationship. And what we've seen, because we're in the automotive industry and it is a brutal industry, but as we also look out within at least the other industries within plastics, there's really no free lunch anymore. They're all globally competitive. Is that the key is also diversification, so you don't get locked into any one customer in particular.
And diversification really came to roost after the Great Recession, during the Great Recession. Those that were highly diverse were able to live through a lot easier than those that had one or two customers that made up 80% of their sales and then lost a lot of it during the recession.
And in particular, if one of your customers was GM or Chrysler
Exactly.
in the 2008, 2009.
You were scared to death.
And many of those struggled and didn't make it. So, well, it's exciting to hear about some of the areas. And Plant Moran can help you in those areas, as in particular as you're thinking strategically, what areas are we good at and what growth areas we could look at. So, thanks, Jeff.